getting into the fourth week of the NFL. What do you guys think?
I think I need a recovery.
I don't know. DK and I are knocking them down, baby.
3, 2, 1.
All right, guys, we are back. This is the one and only Get the Edge. I am Scott Matthews, the host of the show. Can you believe it? Week 4 of the NFL already. 5 weeks into college football. A lot of stuff going on. Big matchups this weekend. We're going to talk about everything, touch base on everything. Might even talk a little baseball towards the end because it's coming down to the last few games of the season. And I want to get into it. I want to introduce, obviously, my great panel, my co-hosts, the men that make this happen with me, the one and only CEO of the Sports Prophets, Teddy Brooks. What's up, Teddy?
What's up, Scotty? What's up, TK? Just want to give a shout out to the Apologize in Advance podcast that also does their show here at the Podcast Junkie Studio. They let me hold this for the show. They're going to let me hold it for every show moving forward to match the hat that you love so much.
There you go. So we got the GOAT. We got the goat hat up and ready to go. Well, you know what? We got a GOAT right next to you. Man's been doing it over 30 years. The man behind the plan over there at TK Wins. My man, TK Tommy King in the house.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm ready for another big weekend. Coming off a huge weekend of college football and NFL. It's going to be another big weekend in store for us this weekend.
I just want to, before we get into things, because, I don't want to rush right into games. I know everyone wants it. What's your thoughts, guys? Pittsburgh Steelers, 3-0. Never would have believed it in the beginning of the season. Minnesota Vikings, 3-0. Obviously, Kansas City, 3-0. Any surprises to you guys through the first 3 weeks? Teddy?
Everything's surprising me right now in the NFL. I mean, it's crazy. I think the only non-surprising thing was TK's winner with the Ravens last week. That was a great pick. I went with him. I ended up tailing that. Yeah, you guys agreed on that. I ended up tailing. Thanks to you guys because I had a rough week. But I would say the biggest surprise is that Mike Tomlin is not committal to saying that Fields is the starter.
Yeah, but Mike Tomlin, he's going to ride the boat, the ship that's running smooth, and he's not making no changes unless Fields fell apart. And
No, of course not. I just think it would be a boost of confidence for Fields just to know he's the guy.
Well, I'll tell you, I put out the Steelers here, and it's on the money line. That friggin' defense of the Steelers. I mean, what do you think about that defense?
That was crazy. We both had the Steelers last week. We knew the defense was going to come up there, but I didn't think they would shut them down. 10 points they put them up?
Well, they've just been shutting everyone down. They're winning the game smart. They're not making mistakes. Their defense is keeping them in the games, making the mistakes for the other side, and they're finding ways to win. That's the beauty of it. That's all around great football.
Yeah, I'm just shocked in the NFL with Joey Burrow and the Bengals. I mean, they can't even get anything done.
Oh, please. Joe Burrow, I don't know. That was my man. I'll tell you, I don't think anyone was more jacked up about a quarterback coming out of the first couple of years than I was about Joe Burrow. I think there's some kind of tension going on in that team. I don't know what's going on, but they are not looking they're not executing when it needs to be.
Something's up. And
couldn't stop Washington the other night. Daniels looked like MVP of the league in that game.
I was about to say, that's the other, not a surprise. I mean, he did win the Heisman Trophy, but this guy, both of the players from LSU, Malik Neighbors for the Giants, looks like the next best wide receiver, and Daniels looks like potential rookie of the year right now.
One other team I want to talk about before we move into the games. What about this Buffalo team, this Josh Allen? Right now, in my opinion, MVP of the league at this point. Yeah, I know it's early.
Yeah, he played a great game the other night. So,
didn't he? I mean, this guy is getting more mature. I mean, last year I thought they'd tail off. It seems like now they're ready to tail up the way they're playing right now. He's playing phenomenal, using his head. He's not running as much as he needs to run, and he's finding ways to beat him with the pass. And then you got the weapon of this guy, 255 pounds to run on top of it.
And without Stephon Diggs now, too. That's really impressive.
Maybe that was a good move.
But this week's going to be the big test for them.
Tough Sunday night matchup.
We'll talk about that one
later.
All right, guys. Well, we got college football. We love college football as much as we love the NFL here. And I'll tell you, we got some big-time plays coming up. I know the audience wants to know what these guys have on their mind, so I am going to kick it off with my man, Tommy the Hitman King. See what he's on his mind for this weekend in college football. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going to start off with a nice afternoon game. Arkansas going against Texas A&M. I'm going to take the dog on this one. Going to take the 4 points. Arkansas 6-2 to their last 8 as a dog on a neutral site. They're coming off the big win against Auburn last week. You know, the A&M, they barely won, 21-point favorite last week. They barely won. You know, so I'm jumping on the dog here on this one, taking Arkansas plus the 4.
I'm going to talk about that game a little bit more in a couple of minutes, but obviously my main man, excuse me, a little tongue twisted there. My main man, Teddy.
Well, I think TK's got one more for college.
We'll move it on to next week. You can jump on.
Okay, yeah, I'll jump in. I'm looking at this Louisville Notre Dame game. You know, a lot of people don't believe in Notre Dame because they lost to that Northern Illinois team. Louisville's 3-0 right now, and been watching a lot of experts loving Louisville. But guess what? These so-called experts, they don't know sharp money movement, and there's some big sharp money movement on Notre Dame here. It reminds me of when Notre Dame played Clemson in 2022. Notre Dame's they're running the ball. They have a very good run offense. They're 10th in rushing explosiveness. They're first in PPA per rush, which is a point system that they track how many eventual points they get off that run. And Louisville is bad at giving up the big run. So if Louisville chooses to stack the box here, maybe Riley Leonard, who is supposed to be really good, and he's really not performing the way he was supposed to coming from Duke. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this game, and I'm saying that Notre Dame is going to pounce, and I'm taking them at -5.5. I'm bucking the trend. Notre Dame has never covered against Louisville. I think this Saturday is going to be the first time they do. I got a couple more, but I'm going to toss it back to one of you guys here. And we can come back.
Did you have another college play?
I got one more best bet going to college. I'm going to stick with the Hot Liberty team. I know they're 4-0 to start the season.
Oh, he likes those teams like that.
They're playing Appalachian State. I mean, they're 8-0 as a favorite against a spread of 3.5 or more points. Mm-hmm. They're falling into that situation. They should take care of business again here this week. Like I said, they won 4 straight games. They really haven't played any strong teams. They're on the road. Appalachian State, they're not much better. You know, they're only 3-8 against the spread their last 11 home games. So I'm going to jump on Liberty on this one, lay to 3.5 points.
Scale of 3 to 5. What are you ranking it?
4 units on this one today.
All right. What about the first play you put up?
5-unit play on Arkansas.
5-unit best bet, ladies and gentlemen. This man knows his stuff. Take advantage of that one. Hey, I want to just kick back to that matchup with you mentioned Louisville and Notre Dame. Let me tell you, this Louisville team, 508 yards total offense in their games this year. This team can move the ball. This is going to be an interesting game because Louisville has been creeping up. Obviously, Notre Dame is, historically has been a great team, but I don't know. The firepower, on this Louisville team is interesting. I'm not touching the game, but I guess you have more on it than I do. But it's just interesting.
It's going to be a really good game. I mean, these are 2 top 25 teams. It's going to be a great game. I mean,
you think these teams can be stopped on offense? The defense is going to come to play here because you're looking at one team averaging about 423 a game. The other one's averaging 500 yards a game.
It's a conundrum because Louisville's big weakness on defense is their secondary, but at the same time, Notre Dame's big strength is the run. So do they stack the box against Notre Dame and dare Notre Dame to pass? Because Notre Dame's been a little weak. Like Riley Leonard, he was supposed to be a big thing, a big quarterback coming out of Duke, and he just hasn't really shown it. So it's going to be interesting, but I just think that Louisville giving up the explosive runs, and Notre Dame is a team known for explosive runs. Okay. I think the Notre Dame rush offense versus the Louisville rushing defense is going to be the difference maker in this game.
How you ranking this game as far as strength for the audience to know?
The audience to know,
strong.
I would say this one is going to be my second best bet of
the
show for Saturday. My best bet, if you want to know, is going to be.
Well, we can wait.
Okay.
I mean, is that pro or college your best bet?
College.
Okay, go ahead then.
Yeah, UL Lafayette plays Wake Forest. UL Lafayette's 2-1 on the season. They started the season off by winning 2 games, and then, of course, they lost a game recently. But here's the thing about this team. They're putting up points. And they've put up 33, 34, and 40 in 3 games. Mm-hmm. Wake Forest has given up 71 in their last 2 games. Weak defense, strong offense. They're road dogs, plus 3.5. This is where the Scotty M special comes into play.
Oh, boy. Buy-in?
If that line moves, make sure you get it at 3.5. I think it's at 4
right now.
It's at 4? Then just take it.
All right.
Just take it.
Is that your best?
That's my favorite game of the week.
All right. Listen, guys, focus on this right now. I love Arkansas. Love this game. I'm definitely agreeing with TK on this one. They definitely outplayed Auburn last week from start to finish. They showed up for that game. Now they're going back on the road for 2 weeks in a row. I looked at numbers. I'm a numbers guy. That's how I determine my plays. I thought for sure that Texas A&M should have been minimum a 6.5 point favorite in this game. That's how I determine things to see if I have the edge. This line has been 3.5 and 4 all week. It might have came out a certain number, but right now it's on a solid 3.5 to 4 points. You're putting a team that's ranked against a team that's not ranked in a place that's brutal to play in, the 12th man down there in Texas. I love the dog in this game. If the numbers are right, based on what I do, the dog is alive in this game. I love Arkansas. I would probably get this line because it is shifting around. I would make it +5. I would just buy it to a solid 5. I wouldn't think twice about where it might be or where it might end. Get 5 on this game. Best bet for me, 10 units on this game. Love it.
Can I add something to that? So what Scotty's saying here, a lot of people would look at that line and say, well,
unranked against ranked.
Right. And a lot of people would look at that line and say, well, Texas A&M should be -6 or -7, so I'm going to bet Texas A&M because I'm getting a good line. It's the opposite a lot of time, guys. These odds makers are not stupid. They set the lines the way they do for a reason. They set the numbers the way they do for a reason. And if something smells fishy, if it looks like a rat and it smells like a rat, it might be. So that one...
Hopefully it's not a rat. We want this one to be a W.
No, that's a W. So, yeah. But the point is, I think Texas A&M is the fish or the rat in this case.
Well,
and I like that
I
analysis.
mean, think about it. You got a team that's going back-to-back on the road. Yeah, they beat Auburn. Yeah, they're 3-1. They're both 3-1. They're going into a big-time brutal environment. The line is soft. There's, you got a top 25 team ranked against an unranked team. Why is this line in this position at this point in time? I love the game. I just think if they come to play the way I'm hoping they do, they can keep themselves in the game, maybe and pull an upset.
Yeah, they're actually playing this game on a neutral site. They're playing it in AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play.
Yeah, but it's your favorite.
That's a big
that's
venue.
True. Maybe that's why the line is probably a little lower than it should. If it was in that stadium, I bet you this line would have been a solid 6.5.
It's still a lot closer to their stadium than it is to Arkansas.
One other game I really like, an interesting team, and I've used them once before, and I've done extremely well. I like Duke in the spot against North Carolina, undefeated. Nobody's really talking about them. They play very well on defense. They can definitely score on offense. North Carolina team, to be honest with you, in my opinion, they're decent, but they're not like a killer-type team. I think when they go into Duke in a spot like this, they got Duke -2.5 to 3. I just money line this game. I don't care, lay the 150 or whatever, 40 or 155 price. Take Duke at home, 4-0, playing extremely well. I like teams that are playing well on both sides of the ball and against a team that can be beat on the road. And North Carolina could definitely be beat in this environment. Take Duke money line.
I had them last week. I ended up not on the show, but I ended up betting them. And you would be very upset with me. I played them at 14.
I'm never upset with you, Teddy.
I played them at 14, and I didn't even buy the half a point.
Okay. There you go. It worked out?
But yeah, they won big.
All right. Good. What's your thoughts? Any of those games stick? I guess you just locked in on what you locked in on.
I'm locked in on my 2 plays, and that's what I'm sticking with this weekend in the college.
All right, cool. Well, listen, I hate to just keep throwing it to now into the NFL. Let's break it up a little bit and talk a little. You guys want to talk a little baseball at all? What's going on? This amazing Ohtani and Aaron Judge. I told you at the beginning of the year, I thought those would be the two that would battle for the most home runs.
56, and what's Ohtani got?
53 or 54.
Yeah.
First time ever a guy got a 50-50, stolen bases and home runs ever in baseball. Did you see the fan? They caught the ball down in the Marlins Stadium.
It.
And then they were fighting each other like crazy. They're saying that ball's worth $500K. I think I'd fight for a fight.
Right now it's $500K.
I thought I saw TK fighting that guy. Looked like him. Did you guys see the video? I wish we had it because it looked like TK was taking out like 4 people to grab that ball away.
Right now it's $500K. Give it some time. It's going to be worth a few million eventually.
Oh, yeah. Well, all that stuff is pretty nutty when it comes to collectibles. But
well, the thing is, Sunday is actually the last day of MLB regular season. I was going to talk to you guys about this, but I think we should dedicate like 10 or 15 minutes on the next episode for a playoff preview.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because we'll know what the slate's looking like. We'll know who's
the wild
in,
card,
who's
everything's
out,
coming up.
all that good stuff.
I want to ask you
But I'll tell you who I don't trust.
Okay.
Is the Yankees.
They had a rough game last night.
They killed me last night.
Baltimore.
I do not trust the Yankees. That's all I know
let me
now.
tell you about this San Diego Padres team, man. They are killing it the second half of the. I mean, they're just playing. If they beat they're playing the Dodgers right now. If they beat the Dodgers the next couple of games, and there's only 4 or 5 games left in the season, they could leapfrog them to win that division. That's how close it's getting. San Diego's playing unreal, and I think out of all the teams in the second half of the season, if I'm correct, I think Detroit Tigers have the best record in baseball. And that guy that's pitching for them, he's got a shot. He's 18-4. He could win the Cy Young.
KC finally won last night. So.
Scooble.
Yeah, with KC, they were on a bad run the second half. They finally won the game last night.
They've
They've been
up.
dropping down. Watch out for the Brewers.
That's your team.
That's my team. The
I'll
Brewers,
tell you.
watch out.
I'll tell you who's running right now are the Astros. I mean, they're
the
running.
Astros are always running. You got Altuve. He's dynamite. That guy. He's like just a jitterbug.
You got two right names in a row.
I'm telling you.
Scotty and TK.
Except Bob.
But he still can't say Bob. Listen, I got killed. I get guys commenting. So you know how you get like the captions on your videos?
Yep.
Okay. So sometimes the captions don't spell names right. It's like an AI. It's like a software that writes all that stuff out. So I got a guy in my video. I spelled Zach Galen's name with 1 L instead of 2. And
he went nuts on you?
Oh, he went nuts on me.
Oh, boy.
Before we get to the NFL, though, we got to talk about the biggest game of the week, maybe the biggest regular season game of the year.
Yeah, I skipped over that. I got a little so jacked up, and I was going to go to this game, actually, in Tuscaloosa. I'm sure that's what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2 team in the nation, guys, the University of Georgia, going against the Alabama Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa. 103,000 are going to be at this game. Trust me when I tell you 103,000. And there's no better shit show than Tuscaloosa when it comes to college football. I don't have an opinion on this game as far as a pick, but I think, in my opinion, do you guys have any opinion or you just want to talk about it a little bit?
I like this game. So, this is one of the first times in a long time that Alabama is not favored at home, right? That's pretty impressive. Here's my thing. Yes, Milroe looks outstanding. He is getting better and better every week. He tore up Georgia last year in the championship game.
Yep.
And they were battered. Georgia was battered last year. They're strong this year. I think Georgia wants redemption. I think they're pissed that they didn't make it into the playoff. They believed they were a playoff team last year. Mm-hmm. And there's one missing piece that Alabama no longer has. There's a rule. Don't bet against Nick Saban. Well, guess what? You can throw that rule out the window. I'm rolling with Georgia on the money line with this one.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. If you gave me $100 to bet on the game, I'll throw it down on Georgia.
Well, since you two gentlemen are putting opinions out, I'm going to put an opinion. I'm going against you. I think Bama rolls. I think in that stadium, new head coach. He seems to listen. This coach is damn good. He's only lost 2 games in the last couple of years, and he's already 3-0 at Alabama. So I think Bama could show up. They both had a bye week. They're coming into this game fresh. Bama at home, like you said, you heard Kirby Smart. He was talking about how great this quarterback is. Now, I don't know if that's playing the little psych game.
That's Kirby Smart's mind game.
He's saying how good this Milroe's
he is
unbelievable.
good, though. But Carson Beck's good, too.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. I think, listen, we'll just put it on the table. I think Bama, I'll take him as a home dog. Why not?
There you go, guys.
All right. Listen, we're moving on. We got to go. We got a big show ahead of us here, and we want to jump into the NFL because this is week 4, guys. 4. Of the NFL. Unbelievable. We were talking about it like recently and it didn't even start. Now we're 4 weeks in. We got some undefeated teams. We got a nice card of games this weekend. I want to start it with Teddy. Teddy, just who do you like is your best premier game in the NFL?
So I'm rolling with a teaser in this NFL Sunday. I'm just going to tease 2 teams through a couple key lines here. That's what I want to try to do this year. The dogs are barking this year in the NFL.
Did you hear the stat? I got it I was with Defo doing his show, and we appreciate him coming on our show last week. 14-2, something like underdogs 5.5
Yeah, between like 5.5 and 7
yeah,
or something
it's like 14 and 2 through the
I
first
think
3
a lot of
weeks.
them won the game too.
Yeah, crazy
A
numbers.
lot of them are winning outright
Yep.
also.
With the NFL, you know what they say. Every week, you never know.
Any Given Sunday, great movie. Al Pacino,
There you
Jamie
go.
Foxx.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
Go right ahead.
no, don't be sorry at all. So I'm looking at 2 dogs in this one. I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home versus the Eagles. Yes, the Eagles are still the Eagles. They're good, but they're just looking a little questionable the last couple of weeks. And the Buccaneers look solid. Not fantastic, but solid. They're 2.5 point dogs at home. And then you have our boy Daniels, who we were just talking about, and the Commanders going up against the Cardinals.
Right.
Both of these lines are sitting around 2.5, 3.5. I see the Commanders at 3.5 right now. I'd love if I can see that Buccaneers line at +3, moving that to +10, and then also moving the Commanders to +10, and playing a 2-team parlay with some young Buck quarterbacks.
A 2-team parlay or teaser?
2-team teaser. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Thank you for.
Now you're
going to
have to adjust it because right now you couldn't get +10 on those.
That's
games.
what I'm saying.
Right.
TK mentioned something a couple weeks ago on dogs. He likes to wait because a lot of times they move
in the week.
They move late in that week towards the favorite. So all we need is this team to go from 2.5 for the Bucks to go from 2.5 to 3.
Yeah.
And then you could pounce on a 2-team teaser and get them both at 10.
Okay. The only thing I don't like, not saying I'm disagreeing with you at all, Washington just coming off a Monday night game on the road, now going back on the road to the West Coast. That could take its toll, in a game like that. So, again,
it could.
You might have the right side. I'm not saying you don't. But I don't like teams going on the road in a short week, especially going from the East Coast to the West Coast. What's your thoughts? Anything else you got other than the teaser?
That's it. That's all I'm doing.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Make a note. The man does his work. He knows what he's doing, and he likes this teaser. TK, what do we got?
I'm going with my best bet on Sunday. It's going to go in the afternoon.
He gets jacked up real fast, don't he?
Kansas City Chiefs against the Chargers. I'm ready for this one. Kansas City opened up at 6.5. I got on them early like I always do. I think the line's up to 7.5. If you got to buy it down to 6.5, 7, do it. The Wade team has dominated the series. KC 6-0. Their last 6 is a favorite of 3.5 to 10 points. And the Chargers coming off that hard loss against Pittsburgh. I just don't see them doing anything against KC. Mahomes is ready for a good game. Kelsey, they're playing on the
better wake his ass up lately. What the hell?
Hopefully Taylor Swift don't show up to the game in LA and they get the job done.
Okay.
But I'm looking at KC to just win this game by double digits here this weekend.
And I got to ask you, what are you rating it at? 3 to 5?
There's a 4-star unit play for me.
4-star. So pretty much a best bet.
Pretty much a best bet in the NFL.
All right. Anything else?
I'm going to close off with the Rams Bears game. Line open up at 1. It's at 3. Bears, they dominated in the NFC. They're 6-1 against the spread. Bears 5-0. Their last 5 against the spread at home. Bears are coming back home again. They're 3-0 against the spread. Their last 3 at home.
Right.
I'm looking to get paid with them again this week.
Think the Rams are jacked up after that huge comeback win against San Fran? That was shocking.
That was a crazy comeback in that game.
Yeah.
Dallas almost made the comeback too on the weekend.
Yeah,
couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, well, thank God they didn't because we would have lost.
I like that Bears. I like that Bears pick. I was thinking about bringing that to the table this week. I ended up laying off as far as bringing it here.
What's your guys' thoughts? I'll ask both of you. T, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts of this Caleb Williams as the quarterback there? I don't know. I'm a little shaky on him.
He just needs another few weeks to get back in. Once he gets rolling, it just
it seems like he finds ways to make mistakes. I know he's a rookie and
He's a
all,
young
but
kid.
Yeah,
you want to know my thoughts?
Oh, I'm coming to you right now. Yeah, big boy. Let's go.
Listen, here's my thoughts.
Yeah, he thinks I'm going to forget about him.
Number one, there's a rookie quarterback right now that's doing much, much, much better than he is in Daniels.
Right.
And number 2, the guy that they got rid of to get him is doing much, much better than he is.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's my thoughts. I mean, you got someone that they could have drafted in Jaden Daniels. He's doing better, and you got Justin Fields doing better than him. So
that's what I'm saying.
It seems like players go to Chicago to die. I mean,
it's been going on there for God knows since past Jim McMahon back.
Jay Cutler was a very good quarterback, also. And
he ran into a brick wall. I mean, he did all right with them. I mean, but he didn't really take them to the promised land.
Didn't take them to the promised land.
So at this point in time, rookie quarterback, I'd say Daniels 5 notches above William.
Daniels and Malik, and it's just crazy because they played together. You know, they both played for LSU. But
what do you guys think? I don't know if you really watching it too tight on him. What C.J. Stroud, second year? What do you think? How do you think he's been handling himself the first three games? Last year, everyone talked about him. He ended the year on a bang, carried him into the playoffs. I think he's that
sophomore slump.
Yeah.
100%. He's in a little slump right now.
Well, I think what it is, these guys put a little target on them. You know, they know, hey, this guy lit it up. You know, we're not going to let him light it up so easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, if you look at people dropping, look at Trevor Lawrence, man. He's just playing horrible football.
Yeah.
Horrible football.
Good point, man. Good point. All right, I'm gonna jump in, guys, because I love 2 games.
The water's warm. Jump in.
All right. Well, if it's warm, I'm gonna try to make it even warmer. Let's make it hot. I'm gonna jump in. Ben, what do you think? Should we jump in the hot water?
Definitely dive in.
All right, excellent. Well, here's a team. I'm surprised you guys. Sam Darnold has taken this Minnesota team. Obviously, he's got the all-world receiver. Okay, and the bottom line is this team is playing dynamite on both sides of the ball. They're 3-0. They're not making mistakes, which is a key because Darnold used to make a lot of mistakes. I'm only talking 3 games. I know it's hard to look at a whole season based on 3 games, but I love the dog. Listen, Jordan Love he may play, he may not play. They're talking about a last-minute decision, but even if he does play, I think this defense is good, and him coming off an injury, he might be a little timid. Let's say, against a defense like this that can smother you. I like the Vikings in this game big time. I think it's a live dog. If you could pull those numbers up, yeah, there you go. I would buy that line. You see the line on the screen, guys? We don't want that line. We want +3 or 3.5. I'd buy it up to 3.5. I'd jump on the Vikings in this game. I think the Vikings are barking as loud as can be. I see them being 4-0 after this game. Definitely. And they're going to take total command. Well, other than the Detroit's 2-1. If they win, they'd be 3-1. But I like the Vikings to win that game. And one other game I love, big-time matchup, same kind of scenario again. You got Buffalo, all-world Josh Allen. I don't know what got into his head this year, but whatever's in there, I like to have a part of it because it's all being smart. This guy's playing great football right now on both sides. Not running like he used to, just putting himself out there to get hurt and just mixing it up, passing great. He's got the weapons. Buffalo's 3-0. Dominated the last 9 quarters. I looked at the last 9 quarters. The last quarter of Game 1, all 4 quarters of Game 2, all 4 quarters of Game 3 has been all Buffalo. Dominating. Error-free football, taking advantage of their opponents. Love Buffalo in this game, +3. Yeah, Baltimore needs it. I know everyone's going to say, I don't care about who needs it. The bottom line is you got to get out there and play to get it. I like Baltimore. I take that line to +3, 3.5. I like Buffalo. I said Baltimore. I like Buffalo +3, 3.5 in this game to get the job done. Both of these games, guys, are best bets for me on Sunday.
Going back to your Buffalo game, Hamlin comes out and gets a nice interception last week.
Nice
that
to
was
see,
beautiful.
right?
That was beautiful to get that interception.
Yeah, really nice.
Speaking of interceptions, has Allen thrown one yet?
I don't think so. He's playing. They're playing.
That's another big issue he had was he's a gunslinger. You know, gunslingers throw a lot of interceptions.
It's been good this year, though.
So the fact that he hasn't thrown an interception yet is very encouraging for that team. Very encouraging.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up a number on him right now, matter of fact.
While you're doing that, just
no interception, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah. Speaking of interceptions and gunslingers, one of the best gunslingers of all time who did throw a lot of interceptions but was a great quarterback, Brett Favre. You heard about him?
Yeah, I saw that.
Parkinson's. Very sad.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. He was doing something in Washington or something. He was doing some kind of...
Yeah, he's...
I don't know what he was doing.
He had that issue in Mississippi with the welfare money misusing the welfare funds. So he was just talking... He was called in front of Congress.
Are they trying to say it's like football related or not really? I mean... I don't know about getting hit and all. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure. That was the first thought that came to my mind.
He's a great guy. I had a beer with him at his bar in Mississippi in Killen, Mississippi. I had a nice cold beer with him at the Broke Spoke there with my dad back in the day. It was great to meet him there.
That's a cool story, TK. I would love to have a beer
TK's
with
meeting everyone. He rubs elbows with all the people.
Smallest town in Mississippi. I think there was one red light in the whole town. That's crazy.
Is that where he's from originally? Is that why he opened the bar there?
Yeah, his sister was running the bar that day. He happened to walk in, had a cold beer with him, and it was nice to talk to him.
Well, one of your big stomping grounds is Milwaukee, right? Wisconsin.
Yeah, Milwaukee. That's why I'm a Brewer fan.
He played there for, what, 15 years?
Been to a steakhouse out in Green Bay back in the day. I've seen him play at home many times.
Imagine they've had basically two starting quarterbacks for the last 30 years with Favre and Rodgers.
And the way Love looks, it might be 3 for the last 40 some years.
I really like Jordan Love.
He loves Love.
Yeah, I really do. I really do. My kid likes and my kid watches all this stuff, and he said, Dad, this guy loves special.
Did you guys see there's a video out of the Chicago GM, and he's in a room with his son. This is before the draft, and his son's probably like your son's age, probably like 16, 17.
Right.
And he's begging him to take Daniels.
Daniels?
Yeah, and now it's circulating. So
all right.
His son might have known better than he did.
Hey, you know what? Not a bad choice, right?
Yeah.
Or at this point in time, but you never know, man.
No, I'm saying he was begging him to take him before the draft.
Oh, before.
Yeah, so he knew it. His son knew it.
Well, listen, we had an action-packed show. I mean, before we go, anything you want to bring up before we go? Any interesting topics going on in your world, TK? You going to be at the Hard Rock?
I might hit the Monday Night Football game this week. I'll see what happens there. I don't know if there's going to be much action on that game.
I don't think the Hard Rock likes him, though. I think
had a good run at the table the other night. Snuck in there about midnight and walked out of there about 1 in the morning with a couple shekels in my pocket there for you.
Hey, you know what? Go get him, baby. What about you, Teddy? Anything interesting?
The only thing interesting is this is the most exciting time of the year, I think, when you got football rolling, you got basketball about to start, you got hockey about to start. It was really cool. A couple of my buddies went to the preseason game.
You're going to go opening night, October 8th, against the Boston Bruins. My team.
I think I'm going to have to be in the building. Maybe I'll meet you over there,
Meet me
TK.
up in the Corona Club.
You got your tickets this year again?
Me and a buddy of ours, we worked out a deal for us, so we're back in the Corona Club for a select few games this year.
There you go. TK in the house. He'll be out there, guys. Go check him out. If you're ever out at the Panthers game, you can't miss him with those fancy shirts, that's for sure.
Section CL13.
Ben, you think we could miss this guy?
And he wears them. He wears them to the game also. I've seen it firsthand.
I got my TK Wins jersey too. So
all right, guys. Great show. Love having you guys on each and every week with me, and we're ready to just keep this thing moving and grooving. TK, where can the audience find you on social media? Make sure they find you and not someone else.
Yeah, I got that issue too. I got hacked last week, but you can still follow me. It should be back up here in the next couple of days at TK Wins. But the best place to find me, just go right to my website, tkwins.com. We got the latest lines there, got the latest picks, free plays. Just go right to the site, tkwins.com. Any questions, you can send me an email.
All right, and they can buy picks from you too? You have a private service you offer on the website?
Right on the website, tkwins.com. You go right there. You can purchase plays, get live odds. You got everything there.
Guys, I've known him over 30 years. No bullshit, 30 years. He's been in the business doing this and this only, nothing else. So he is real. Listen, we try to win as many as we can, but at least you see us here doing our thing and trying to make it happen. Teddy, where can the people find the one and only Sports Profits?
Okay, so the legitimate Sports Profits page is _profits_pick, just like it says right there on the screen, and www.thesportsprofits.com, youtube.com/@thesportsprofits, and of course, let's not forget about the new Get the Edge YouTube channel.
Yeah, we got to get that going, guys. Subscribe, give us a like, do something. We're here busting our asses each and every week.
Hey, guys,
for you.
by the way, if you watched I put a thing on my Instagram. I said, comment on the show and then message me, and I'm going to give you a free pick. We got like 15 comments from my followers, but only one person messaged me for the pick. So if you commented and you still didn't get a pick, message us. We'll get you that pick.
And they can also buy your service or select games that you have privately and stuff like that. They can get a hold of you.
Thesportsprofits.com. It's all there.
There you go, guys. There you go. There's 50-plus years sitting right next to me. All right, guys. I'm Scott Matthews, the host of this show, Get the Edge. If you like what we're doing, follow us, like I said, on YouTube. We're also on Spotify. We're on Apple. You name it, we're there. Give us a like. Check it all out. That's the bottom line. You guys can also find me each and every day. I'm giving away stuff all the time, guys, all the time. And we've been winning at a high level. All you have to do is come to my TikTok, SM Picks. Make sure you get the right one, because I got a little clown out there, or clowns that are trying to, do exactly what these guys are doing, trying to copycat us. But my TikTok is SM Picks, P-I-C-K-S, and also on Instagram. Instagram is SM Sports Picks, P-I-C-K-S. Check it all out. I also offer private services. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM. I'm here for you. Whatever I can do to give you the winning edge, I'm ready to do it. Have a great day today. Let's make some money on these games this weekend, because the guys are ready. I'm ready, and we'll see you back here next week.
Let's collect.
Let's go.
Joe, I like that. Nice and compact.
We got the queen of hockey in the house here. The queen is back.